I'm Kevin Wells. Thanks for dropping by. This is part 3 of my painting Recycle, Reuse. In part 2, I demonstrated applying texture to the board, as you see here. To begin the actual painting, I cover the background area with a layer of white thinned with a matte medium to give an easy blendable base. I then mix ultramarine blue with cadmium yellow to give me a variety of shades of green, which I apply randomly into the white. I'm not concerned with detail here, just in giving a varied base. Using a lightened burnt umber, I quickly suggest the forest trees in the background. The next step is to block in the rest of the painting, bearing in mind the value sketch I did in part 1. Because of the texture, I can vary the intensity of the paint depending on how hard I press in the brush. I'm using mixtures of burnt umber, Payne's grey, cadmium orange and benzie burnt orange to vary the shades in the stump. The next step is to colour using a palette knife, which I lightly skid across the surface of the texture so that the paint sits on the blocking below. By doing this repeatedly, I build up a depth of colour over the board and texture. You can see the effect building up in more detail here. Using a small brush, I bring out the detail in the bark by enhancing the valleys formed by the texturing. I'm not being particular or following the reference photo, but rather letting the contours of the texture suggest the place to paint. Allowing a larger brush to skip along the surface continues this process. Pushing in or scraping across different colours develops further texture and depth. Added greens suggest the lichen growing on the stump. As you go along, the painting begins to speak for itself, and further paint is added to the developing texture. You can see how the constant random applications have given a tree-like texture to the work. Some of the background trees are enhanced to suggest depth. The randomness of the peripheral greenery also suggests shapes which can be brought out and developed further. When the stump is mostly completed, I applied some more medium to allow a foreground salal to be added. And finally, the completed work. I hope you have enjoyed joining me in the process of this painting. If you did, please press like, maybe even subscribe. and check out the first two parts of this video below.